Everybody, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Herschel Gillis, and today is day 8 on day 14 of the 31 Days of Horror. Got a lot of catching up to do. I think I'm going to post 3 videos today, so keep an eye out. But anyway, today is the Torture Herschel episode because I'm reviewing a movie that I gave a 1/2 star. I'm going to complain about it a lot. It's not going to be a long video like the rest of these, but I am going to complain, so let's get into it. That is 2021's Old by director M. Night Shyamalan. I don't think M. Night Shyamalan needs an introduction. I think he is. His track record is shoddy, to say the least. I'm not the biggest fan. But somehow I have seen all of them, but all of his films but one at this point now. Or maybe two, like a one-off, like older film or something that's not one of his main ones. But I've seen the majority, and I've never been a huge fan of M. Night Shyamalan. That being said, when it's too old, because it was streaming, I was not going to buy this movie. I knew it was going to be not great, but I was hoping for a movie like The Happening, which is awful. I'm sorry if you like that movie. I mean, I do as well. It's awful, but it's so bad that it's funny at times because of Mark Wahlberg's hammy performance, talking to trees, lines about hot dogs. It's weird. Anyway, Old. Not the case. Dear God. So the film's about this family, or really a group of families that go on this like vacation holiday at this resort. They go on a beach, and when they go there, they start aging rapidly. That's about it. Oh boy. Where to begin? The story. This film is like an hour 45, which is not that long. That's a normal movie time. But this is a film that the concept is enough to support like a 20-minute short, but not a feature length, and it is dragged out. It is not scary. It is not super mysterious. I mean, the characters in this movie are so poorly written that I truly did not care what happened to any of them. So when like these aging and bad things happened to them, I was not like intrigued, or I didn't care what happened to them. Like there was no stakes for me because they are just terrible, flat actors. And the thing is, there are good actors in this movie, which pisses me off. Because Vicky Creeps or Krebs is in this. She's in Phantom Thread, and she's phenomenal in that film. It has Alex Wolff in this. He's great in Hereditary. I mean, it's got like major, like good actors, and they just all feel like they reel it in. Everybody is so stiff and robotic in this movie. Terrible. The writing, terrible. Unbelievably bad writing. It is unbelievably stupid. Um, there's also some really odd concepts in this that made me. It feels a little icky at times, especially for being like a mainstream like PG-13 movie. When you think about it, it's really weird. Like there's a people, they get on the island, they're literally like 6 or 7 years old. Around that age, like young children, and when they age, mentally, presumably they're at the same age. And this is not, I'm not going to be one of those weird people that talk about shit like that, like Poor Things. Well, Poor Things is a great movie, by the way. But like the kids grow up and then do the deed, and one of them gets pregnant, and that's like a major thing. And she births a baby, like, as the pregnancy lasts so quick amount of time. And all I could think of during this part, I'm like, was she still mentally like 7? Because that would be really weird for this. Might have worked in a different film. I don't. It's just odd in this film. Like in a movie where it's supposed to be disturbing for that reason, I think it would work, or like serve a greater point. But in this, it just felt like kind of off and like out of left field. And I know that probably makes me sound like I'm offended by it. I'm not offended. I just think it's an odd choice. And that's kind of indicative of the rest of the film as well. I think there's a lot of odd choices in the way this film is laid out. Um, and it just, the twist, I'm not going to spoil it, even though you shouldn't watch this movie. Um, the twist and like what's happening and why it's there doesn't explain what's happening. It just explains like why it's happening. It doesn't explain the phenomena, it explains why they're there. And even the twists are like it's supposed to be like some like grand like oh moment, and it's like oh man, that's so good. It's not. It's stupid. It is so nonsensical. It's just and it's boring. The film is terrible. It just made me angry. The acting is so bad from good actors. The plot is dull. It is overly stretched out. I don't care about any of the people in this film because they're so poorly written. The parts that are there to disturb or scare you are not. They're just really stupid. And yeah, I just feel like it's a um to me personally, it is everything that is wrong with a lot of M. Night Shyamalan's work just kind of contained to one movie. This has been his bottom tier for sure. I'm not going to say this is as bad as like something like The Last Airbender, even though I think that film and stuff like After Earth are kind of like adjacent to the rest of his work rather than being like indicative. I think Shyamalan, as far as me being not a fan, I actually think some of his later movies, like Split and Trap, recently have been better than a lot of the stuff he had been falling into. But Old is not one of those films. It is truly a super stinker. So, anyway, that's it for this review. It sucks. Don't watch it. I don't have much to add there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys later with another review for something I actually enjoyed. So, as always, zero thoughts, zero editing, zero brain cells, and zero planning. See you guys later. Thanks.